Good evening, everybody. Glad to be back on Zoom, I guess. I mean, this is, I invited everybody to Scrimmage. I don't know why y'all didn't show up, but we'll just blame it on Derek. So, no, it was a good work night. We got out on the field just in time, about ready to kick off there in Doak, and had a lightning strike and got a chance to transition and adapt, adjust. So we actually held the scrimmage in the IPF, which was good. We still got really good work. Got over 100 plays. It was good to see some guys that first time here in Garnet and Gold get a chance to go out there and compete. I thought the defense started really fast early. Flying around, had a couple forced fumbles. Created some very physical plays, a couple interceptions. It was great to see that just the passion and energy of which they were playing with. Offensively, had some mistakes early that we just can't have. We're in some long yardage situations. Took a couple of negative plays I don't think we needed to take. But, it was going to be great film and opportunities to learn and grow from. I thought the offense rebounded as the scrimmage went on, and you really finished up well. I mean, there were some explosive plays, guys that are really emerging, even though they're young in age. I mean, emerging as guys they're showing to be consistent playmakers. Malik McClain had a couple of big plays. It was Keyshawn Helton. You had a big play down the field. I thought both Jordan and McKenzie had some explosives that were definitely great to see. I thought the O-line did a good job in their pass protection. There was some early pressure that we saw. I mean, I think our defensive front is really coming along, and that group playing together and working to push the tempo. But just a lot of things that you're going to see in a first scrimmage that we have to get corrected. Like I said, the penalties, we've made a huge emphasis on it, and still had some careless decisions and things that are going to be addressed. And we'll make sure that guys are being held accountable to the standard of how we need to operate and what we need to do. But I thought some young guys really stood out. A couple guys in defensive backfield. Shaheem Brown had. He flashed multiple times, had interception, had a couple big hits in the run game. Hunter Washington had an interception that was on a great break, driving on the ball. I thought was good to see. Cortez Andrews as a linebacker, was a guy that was playing, getting his first extensive work in a live scrimmage situation. I thought he did some really nice things. But there are a lot of guys. I got to watch the rest of the film. But I mean, it was good to see some flashes. And I thought our running backs ran the ball really hard and showed some good cuts in the open field, and I feel really strong about where we're heading there in the run game and being able to complement the things that we're going to be able to do in the passing game as well. So just got to continue to work.
First question will be Ira Schofel from Warchant.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned those turnovers early on. Were they more a result of the defense making a big play or the offense making mistakes, as you mentioned?
I mean, it was a combination, really. I mean, there was, the first forced fumble was just a great hit defensively. I mean, jarred the ball loose. We had some pressure plays where the quarterbacks, scrambled and probably tried to do too much, in the situation. Things that we're gonna have to learn from. We had a couple of exchange issues, which we have to get that corrected. I mean, that's not how we play ball. And there were multiple times that the ball was getting on the ground, with our quarterback running back exchange. So we'll continue to emphasize that. But I thought all in all, even with the rocky start and the positive plays with creating the takeaways, the offense did a better job as the scrimmage went on, and and had more success.
Next will be Terry from Tomahawk Nation.
Coach, obviously you're evaluating your players when it comes to the scrimmages, but how do you evaluate your coaches? Like, what are you looking for from them when it comes to the scrimmage?
Well, I mean, it's a great opportunity for us. Even being in IPF, we sent coaches up into the video towers and just trying to work that communication, the understanding of substitutions, of how we need to communicate the things that we're seeing, make sure our eyes are in the right spot of what our responsibilities are on game day. And there's the things that it took place tonight, they're going to allow us to get better. And situations that we found ourselves in, and maybe decisions that we made of a substitution or missing a time to sub. All in all, those are things that you just have to get the reps at. And I feel very confident in our group. We have all 10 assistants back. Coming from this past season, but there is some changes in support personnel, and and opportunities for for us to just continue to work together, and being able to be more efficient in those things, and how we're operating with our players.
Actually, Thomas from Tomahawk Nation.
Hey, how you doing, Coach? So coming from the fall, what position group do you think has most improved, and what player, we're not to name specifically a player, but like, how have they improved the most?
It's a kind of a broad question. I think we've improved across the board. I think the competition level of what we have. You look at the receiver position, and the early emergence of Malik McClain, Josh Burrell, Andrew Parchment coming in. You see guys like Ontario Wilson, Keyshawn Helton, that have really elevated their game, and I'm excited to see where that group continues to progress. Darion Williamson is a young man that I think's had a great first 7 days. I think he's got a great future in front of him. Kentron made some big plays today. It was that group. I think it is a joy to coach. They are. We've got some experienced players that that are hungry, that are trying to push themselves, and we got some young guys that I think have a bright future. But I'd say that's a group that's really kind of taking the next step, and we need them to. They've got to play consistent. I thought tonight they did a really solid job in that. You look at the defensive end position. That really across the defensive line. I think some of the guys that have come in have really come in with the right mindset and attitude. Our interior guys, Fabian Lovett, Dennis Briggs, Jarrett Jackson, Robert Cooper. I feel good about the potential of that group. It's just the consistency of what we're doing, but I really like that. I think we got more depth across the board in the secondary as well as at linebacker. So it's the competition has really helped us, and it's just single out one position. I did my best there, but I really like the growth that I'm seeing with the team.
Gene Williams from War Chant.
Hey, Mike, can you give us a little bit more information on maybe how the quarterbacks fared tonight? And when you're evaluating them, how much weight do you put on a scrimmage, considering it's the closest you're going to get to an actual game situation?
Quite a bit. It's something that, it's when you get coaches off the field, when you get an opportunity to see these guys have to read and react and play fast. The Jordan and McKenzie were definitely played to the level that we would want to see them play. With Chuba and Tate, both had some young guy mistakes. We kind of forget that those guys are, just essentially redshirt freshmen right now, or going in the redshirt freshman year, and there were some plays that they needed to have and needed to be able to gain that experience, and I believe, and they both had a couple of explosive plays, but I think Jordan McKenzie showed up well tonight and moved the offense. The young guys, they got to continue to grow and build upon the reps that they're getting, and but I think it's a really good group. But I'd say that Jordan McKenzie probably had the better nights of those guys.
Next will be Kurt Weiler from Tallahassee Democrat.
You talked about Shaheem and Hunter creating turnovers tonight. Obviously, Kevin Knowles, I know a guy that's come up a lot. Obviously, you bring back so many DBs. You had a couple through the portal. Playing time's not going to be easy. How impressed to come by? How impressed have you been with those guys kind of inserting themselves in the conversation?
Well, that's what you hope for, and we felt very confident in the class that we signed. Some guys were probably a little bit lesser known, but we trusted our evaluation and what we saw in them, and they've come on campus and they've proven us right. So there's a lot to continue to grow and develop. And I'm not saying every one of those guys is going to be an impact here in year one, but with what I saw this evening, they're going to definitely put themselves in a conversation. And Marion Cooper's he's been unavailable for this week. I know we're going to get him back this next week. Brian Robinson's been unavailable this week. Looking forward to having him back at receiver. But guys are getting their opportunity, and I don't care what year they are. Really where they come from or what they've done before. They come here, they can get an opportunity to compete, and that's what these guys have. They've come in with a really, really good mindset. This freshman class, and I'm excited about what they're going to be able to do and how they're competing with each other and against each other.
Next will be Chris Nee from Knowles 247.
Mike, when you guys hit the field on Monday, what's the main thing you want to see from your team coming off a scrimmage and a day off?
It's application. I mean, we as a coaching staff are going to go back. We're going to watch the film tonight, tomorrow. We're going to grade it. We're going to lay out the critical things that we have to get corrected, and we're going to lay out the strategic plan of improvement that we have to see from each individual player. You get a sense of the buy-in when you get a sense of the response. And these guys they've got to take the coaching, they've got to apply the coaching, they've got to show that consistent improvement in what we're asking them to do. And we truly understand this is a process. We're 22 days away from our first game, so it's we're not going to be game ready come Monday. But we have to see those proper steps and the confidence in what we're being coached to do as we're building upon that.
We'll go back to Ira.
It sounded like, just from some of the things you're saying, that maybe the offensive line gave the offense a little bit more opportunities to make plays tonight. Is that progress, or did you get any of the guys back into the mix?
Yeah, I think those guys are getting more confident in what they're being asked to do, and beginning of fall camp, it's a challenge. You get five guys up front. We're moving around a couple different guys at different positions. There's the communication. We've got some competition. I think Dylan Gibbons has come in and really done a nice job. He's competing. You got guys like Bavion and Maurice that whether it's guard, center. That competition there, and we know we have more competition coming. Devontae Love Taylor is getting close, and he's really looking good in the work that he's doing, and we know that's gonna really bring another person to the mix. Zane Herring's done some good things. You'll hear early in camp. I like his growth and development, and I've really been pleased with the young tackles. You got Darius, you got Rob. I tell you, Lloyd Willis is really coming along. He's still got a ways to go, but it's exciting to see him and the things that he's doing. So we'll see as he goes, but it's I think that group is getting more confident with it, and with each rep they're going to get better.
We'll go back to Perry.
Been a long day for a lot of reasons. Was the energy level where you would want from the team, having a 2-hour scrimmage on a Saturday night?
Yeah, that was one thing that I was pleased with. I didn't think that there was anybody. This was an intentional week, and we were very intentional in the way that we wanted to go about it. From Wednesday, we had, I think I told you guys, we had probably the best practice when you look at speed and just the player work that was put into it. Through all the GPS tracking and everything that we do. It was an impressive day. And then you come back, Thursday, Friday, and they were grind, get after it practices there in Jacksonville, and the good Lord helped us with some heat and humidity to kind of put a little cherry on top for that one. But it was good to see our guys, and they were spirited practices, things that we have to grow in and when things are uncomfortable, and that's what you need. We're going to be in some challenging situations. We know that we're young. We've got a lot of guys that are going to be put in in situations that they're probably not going to feel real good throughout the season at different moments. But how you respond at that time, that's what's going to help you establish and set the identity of this team. And if we can respond the right way, then the culture and the foundation of what we're doing will put us in a position to be successful in those games. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that growth and being able to come back this morning. You have a 3-hour bus ride. There's going to be times we're on the road this year. We're going to have a long bus ride on game day. Getting ready. I told the guys. Just as we wrapped up, you're getting ready. Very few opportunities you get to get out there in Doak Campbell, and it was great. Everything, warm ups, all of it. Guys are popping around, and then right before we start, lightning. We got a lightning warning and had to transition inside and. You adapt, you adjust, and they went and played hard. And so I was pleased with the effort. We just got to continue to make sure that we're focusing on those little things and all those situations.
Next will be Don Miranda from WCTV.
Hey, Coach. Notice you and some of the players at Coach Bowden's funeral this morning transition. I wanted to get your takeaways from that and just kind of look back at the Florida State history, maybe a good precursor or something to tell your team just about where you've been, where you're going, and of course celebrating life with Coach Bowden. Thanks.
It was an incredible celebration, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been able to be there. It was special. You heard the great testimonies from the past players, past coaches. Just a remarkable life that was lived, and the legacy that was left is something that is truly special. And we talked about it as a coaching staff. You sit there today and you listen to all the just wonderful stories, and you reflect. If that was us, what would be being said? And are we capitalizing on each day as Coach Bowden did, and how he represented his family, how he represented his faith, how he represented this team, this program as he built it, and it's truly special. And to be able to see that and to have that experience and to know the conversations that I was fortunate to be able to have with him, and just remarkable.
Last one will be Aslan from Moortank.
Sorry to shift back to the scrimmage, Coach, but do you have to tell Adam Fuller, your defensive coordinator, I'm sure he's eager to show all the new toys he has on defense, but is the offense getting enough good looks for you and Kenny to kind of dictate and judge where your offense is at, or is it your guys' job, you and Kenny, to make the offense perform, and so you've got to let those guys do what they got to do?
Yeah, I'm a believer that you have to be able to teach off of what you see, and I'm not. That's how I've always been as whether as an office coordinator or now as a head coach. I don't restrict it, because every opportunity you get to teach a new look or things that you're seeing. I'm a firm believer that if you don't have the answer of why we do things and a good answer of what you would do against a certain look, then you probably shouldn't be running it. So I really like the early versatility of what our defense has shown, and how it forces our guys offensively to be able to react through it. And I think if you look traditionally through the offenses that have been around or been able to coach, as the season progresses, they get better, and they get better because the confidence of what they do, of what they're going to see, and it all builds off of each other. And so I think our guys, even today, there were some things that offensively we executed better because of what we saw maybe day 3 or 4, and just a better understanding of that. But I'd be all for if every defensive coordinator would call and tell us exactly what they're going to run. But we don't get to have that on game day. So it's good for our guys to have to trust their eyes and adapt and adjust to what they see.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.